the only fantasy football therapy show. Mandatory rumplements flow freely. It's National Tight End Week, but the running back somehow stole the spotlight. 6 teams on by, amount of injuries. The NFL drama never takes a backseat. Our stone cold, our so-called studs ghosted us, left us on red. Coaches reminding us they give a damn about your fantasy team. The FBI absolutely should be investigating the NFL refs. So grab your espresso, your Advil, and maybe a stress ball or two, because it's time to vent. It's time to laugh. It's time for a group therapy session that every fantasy football manager desperately needs. Welcome into Monday's Hangxiety. It is time to face the fantasy demons together. Make sure you're dropping those bright spots in the chat so we can flaunt those wins. Side note, only 11 games yesterday, but there is a lot to be pissed off about this week. A lot. Ryan, good Lord. I want to get to the recap, but before we do, make sure you're dropping the like, the comment, the subscribe button right there. If you want to get your pissed offness to the front of the line, you are more than happy to hit that super chat. Ryan loves those. He is a whore for super chats. Make sure you jump over in the Discord. Link will be in the chat. Woof. What a week. Ryan, recap for us.
You brought up National Tight End Day. Didn't quite go the tight end's way, but let's talk about some of these games back on Thursday. There was a great tight end game on Thursday. My boy Arondé Gadsden, Chargers take down the Vikings 37-10. Dolphins 34, Falcons 10. Did not see that coming. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit later. Ravens 30, Bears 16, Jets 39, Bengals 38 in one of the best/worst games of the week. Certainly worst if you like defense, but 39-38, wonderful ending to that game. We're going to talk definitely about that here in just a few moments. Bills 40, Panthers 9, Texans 26, 49ers 15, ugly game. Speaking of ugly, the Cleveland Browns offense, Patriots 32, Browns 13, Eagles take care of work against the Giants and take care of Cam Skattebo for the year, 38-20. Buccaneers 23, Saints 3, Colts 38, Titans 14, Broncos 44 to the Cowboys 24. On Sunday Night Football, we got the Packers who took the revenge game a little bit more seriously than Aaron Rodgers. They win that game 35-25, and to finish up Week 8, Chiefs versus Commanders tonight in Kansas City.
Wolf. I just don't know what to say at this point. I'll do this. Week 8. We had 100-yard rushers and 100-yard receivers. Real quick, James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Breece Hall, J.K. Dobbins, Tank Bigsby, Kamani Vidal. That's it.
That Tank Bigsby one was so wild. They had a 2nd and 31, I think it was, and the dude picked up 34 yards on a rush. Wow. Like, unreal production there. The Giants just did not show
up. You mean you said the Giants.
Yeah, for the Tank Bigsby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We had two players get 100 yards receiving. And only one of them was a wide receiver. Roma Dunze. Great call by me and Josh in the Discord. He was on the board. And then Josh, the man of the hour. 143 receiving yards. Talk about it.
Kraft is that fucking dude. But no, look, we talked about this kind of like all throughout yesterday. I was like, all right, who are we going to feature today? Because, Jets finally get their first win. Justin Fields and all of the, the hoopla going around like Woody Johnson's comments and him potentially getting benched, but then having to start because Tyrod Taylor and the knee injury, but then gets outshined by Breece Hall. So I was like, all right, cool. Maybe we'll put Breece on the thumbnail. But then we said, look, it's National Tight Ends Day. So if there's a tight end that blows up, it's got to be that guy. Yeah. And Tucker fucking Kraft came through. 7 catches, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns on 9 targets. Ooh. I just want to say, 9 targets for a Green Bay Packers player. Finally, getting people the football more than 5 times a game. Love this. He is the first tight end this season to cross the 30-point threshold in a given week. So I feel like that needed to be mentioned. But this is going to be the one time where you hear me gloat a little bit. Because I'm not somebody that victory laps. But I was all over Tucker Kraft heading into this season. So hopefully you had him on your team and you were able to take advantage of this massive blow up. We've been talking about they're going to throw more. They spent a first-round pick on a wide receiver. I'll talk about Jordan Love a little bit later, but they're throwing more. Problem is, it's not to any other wide receivers. It's to Tucker Kraft, and we're all benefiting. He leads the team in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add to the good Tucker Kraft talk, but I do have a problem with the fact that Tucker Kraft seems to be the only one who took National Tight End Day seriously, because that really blew up in my face in some of my betting this past weekend.
Well, I will add something for you. Tucker Kraft's 143 yards on Sunday are the second highest single game mark for a Packers tight end, only behind Richard Rodgers' 143 yards December 3rd, 2015. Guess who the quarterback was?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Just like an interesting little side note there. I figure since Rodgers was on the field, we'll throw that in there. Let's get over to a couple of the chat questions here. We got Caesar saying, good morning. Need Mahomes and Debo under 27 to survive a 60 points from Myles Garrett 5 sack day.
That's wild. I don't think you're going to get that because I think Mahomes is going to get 27 on his own, truthfully.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm with you guys on that one. I think Mahomes is going to be the tough one, but I just want to say, Caesar, you're not the only one in this boat. My home league is a 1 IDP league, and with the way we do sacks in our league, it was a 45-point day for Myles Garrett, whereas a quarterback in this league typically scores about 22 points. So,
Jesus,
rough. Jonathan, what's up, guys? My running backs are Jacobs, Cook, Mason, Sharps, Gainwell, and Benson on the IR. How much fab do I spend on Tracy? Before you answer this, I will tell you double check tomorrow.
I've reached the point in fantasy where I think it's okay to blow the rest of your fab, to be perfectly honest. We're at week 8, unless you would have to have just a really weird running back situation to make someone more valuable than Tyrone Tracy. We've seen what Cam Skattebo has done for the value in this offense. Obviously, more on Tracy a little bit later in this show, if I remember the show sheet correctly as well. But close to all of it, I'm not mad at that right now to get a starting running back. Excuse me.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time on Wiretapped on Tuesday mornings. You don't let starting running backs sit on waivers. At the end of the day, with the Skattebo injury, that is what Tyrone Tracy is. Now, what I will say, he does not have a single game this season over 10 carries.
Nope.
So expect a full split between him and Devin Singletary as well. How much that's worth at the end of the day, I don't know. He was able to run away with it last year. He's not looking like the same Tyrone Tracy this year.
I completely agree. The one thing I will throw out is I see a little bit more hope, certainly with this wide receiving core, certainly with Jackson Dart in running back targets, which was something I bitched about all last year that Tracy did not get. I'm hopeful moving forward we could see that happen with New York.
Yeah, he hasn't been getting it. He's been yielding those to Skattebo so far this season.
Who had that amazing touchdown this week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
What a great route he just ran on that.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
For some, because he's just built like a brick, Skattebo. And so for him to pull that route off really fucking impressed me. So
yeah, unfortunate injury there, but
unfortunate to show it again, by the way.
I was shocked Red Zone replayed that.
Fuck you very much, Red Zone.
They did it on regular TV as well. They showed it multiple times.
Then I love when Red Zone cut back to the game. They're like, we're not going to show it to you again. I'm like, yeah, Red Zone already did. I'm already traumatized here. So.
Well, the Jets are off the snide. They've beat more than themselves, but Justin Fields' revenge game against his current team. Woo, love that.
I was waiting for a Geno Smith quote at the end for Justin Fields there.
No, you know what? I'll give him hats off. Like he got really emotional at the end of it, like during the press conference and everything. And I thought that was really cool, just like showing some level of vulnerability, because so many people put athletes on pedestals, like they have to be manly men. They're not allowed to be people. And, you know, I thought that was really brave of him, and hats off to Fields. Like, this is the thing. Like, I joke all the time, like Fields isn't a good quarterback. We see games like this where he shows the talent. Like, he was a first round pick for a reason, but it's like, where's the consistency? But at the end of the day, I don't have anything against him as a person.
No, Fields seems like a really good guy.
Yeah.
Fields is a great football player.
Yeah.
And a 5-star athlete.
Mhm.
Fields is still a shitty quarterback.
I agree.
Example, so.
I agree.
Yeah, there was a lot going on this week with New York, with the quarterback situation, the Nick Mangold, and then playing in Cincinnati, where Nick grew up like 20 miles down the road. So very emotional. You brought up how Justin Fields inconsistent. Week 1, 29.5 points. Week 2, 4 points. Week 4, 27 points. Week 5, 25 points. Week 6, 4 points. Week 7, 4 points. And then yesterday, 20 points.
So
like these are the types of games that he's capable of.
Yeah.
The inconsistency is the exact word right there. George says, thank God I got Gadsden, because it was painful watching Kraft last night after trading him away.
This kid, Oronde Gadsden, looks like the truth. And the thing is, this is exactly what he was coming out of Syracuse. It was just a question of whether or not they were going to get him on the field and use him this way. If this keeps up, and there's no reason it shouldn't, everybody's healthy outside of Omari and Hampton. And Josh has brought this up numerous times, and it's something I've been preaching for years. There is a correlation between running back targets and tight end targets. There is no running back to throw to right now. I love Kamani Vidal. Oronde Gadsden is taking those targets and making the most of it. You love to see it.
And I think the biggest question, because Hampton, showed in college he can catch the football. He showed in some of his starts this season that he can catch the football. I think over a 2-game span he had like 11 catches. Are they going to throw to him now that they've let Oronde Gadsden out of the bottle?
Yeah,
because I'm thinking no.
Yeah, it seems like, he's the one who's likely to suffer. But everything I see, every time I see an update on Hampton, it's pushing back his comeback date. Mm-hmm. So I'm not loving that to begin with.
Very true.
Yeah, he hasn't gone through surgery yet, or whatever keeps coming up, right?
Oh no, that's
Neighbors.
And he actually went through surgery yesterday. So.
Okay. Does Dart lose value now that Scat's out for the year?
Okay, I'm going to use another player here. Don't take this false equivalency. But Dart's game is a lot like Drake May to me. I think Dart is Dart. It's not going to matter who he's playing. I'm not going to say he's going to lose a ton of value. If anything, Josh, maybe we get to see him run inside the 5 more and he gains value. So
yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way that I'm looking at it. Scat has his own levels of production. Like, Dart doesn't rely on Scat for like yak or receiving touchdowns, things like that, which, I know that Skattebo caught a touchdown.
Yeah, except yesterday.
But like, Dart was fine once Skattebo went out of the game. Like, he still had a solid fantasy day.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, Dart gained so much value from his rushing ability. You take away Skattebo, you're taking away the team's ability to run the football effectively. Like, Tyrone Tracy's averaging less than 4 yards per carry this season. Devin Singletary is not anything to shake a stick at. Dart's going to be fine, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you there. Zach says, dude, I forgot to swap McConkey and Flowers. Luckily, it all worked out for the win, but man, he was pissed Thursday night when you had Ladd go off.
So yeah, Ladd seems to be taking that offense back over a bit.
And then last one, and then we'll get back over to the show sheet. Johan Moss Dotson.
So I'm glad someone brought this up, because I don't think it actually made the show sheet. Josh, what the fuck? You're going to start throwing 50-50 balls when A.J. Brown's out of the game? What is going on?
Yeah, right. I was literally thinking that too. Like, once they ruled A.J. Brown out, I was like, all right, maybe this is the week that John Dotson like starts popping. Dude literally had 1 catch, and it was that 40-yard catch, right? Like, they're throwing deep balls. Like, A.J. Brown's caught a couple of deep balls. Like, he had 4 for 121 in week 7. Like, it's not like they're not throwing the ball down the field. But that's the hallmark of this offense. It's run, go deep. It's like, am I watching Arthur Smith in Philly? Like, this is boring to me. But these last couple of weeks, the offense has looked better. Like, the passing attack looked there in week 7. The running game finally got going, which, by the way, called that on Wednesday. Saquon, RB3 on the week. So they're finally starting to get the ball rolling, and Kevin Patullo is shaking off all right, now I'm starting to find my groove as a play caller. I still think a lot of the routes and some of the plays in general are a little not great just in terms of how they're schemed, but they've got a bye coming up. Maybe they can take these couple of weeks and try to get some new concepts in there, because it's a little boring, but this offense is one of the best in the league in red zone conversions for touchdowns. That's why we're winning games, plain and simple.
All right, let's move over to the unnecessary shots, rumplements, injuries of the week. I'll list them off. You guys can hit on them and tell me which ones are going to impact the lineups for a longer period of time. Cam Skattebo dislocated ankle. He did stay in Philly overnight and have his surgery. Luther Burden, concussion. Quinton Junkins, the shoulder injury. And then, of course, you just alluded to Saquon's big day, but he did leave with a groin. However, I thought I heard that he could have come back.
Yeah, it didn't seem that serious. I mean, obviously, with them winning the way that they were, there was no need to push it. We have a bye next week. By all accounts, Barkley should be okay.
And I think that story mirrors itself with Quinton Junkins and the Cleveland Browns. It doesn't seem like it's serious. They have a bye next week. The biggest concern here is Cam Skattebo.
Yep.
What it does to this Giants offense, what it does to Skattebo managers. I don't know what to tell Skattebo managers. Like, I guess go get Tyrone Tracy and pray for the fucking best, because
I've already had somebody try to offer me Tracy for a second-round pick in a dynasty league.
Like, they're trying to get a second out of you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I have Cam Skattebo.
So this is what's interesting to me is Santiago. I'm going to throw him up. We're going to let him jump the line here for a second, because this is where I was going to go with the Skattebo injury. Is I think this probably benefits Wan'Dale Robinson in the long run. I know it wasn't a great game for him this week, but they're going to go in here and install a new game plan at this point. And underneath passing, I think Wan'Dale Robinson and I think Theo Johnson tend to benefit.
Very fair. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this about Skattebo, because a lot of people like to really shit on Philly fans. It takes a lot for the opposition to get some level of a standing ovation. And the Philly crowd gave Skattebo a standing ovation.
Is there a more Philly guy outside of Philly?
That's my point. Like if Skattebo played in Philly, that dude would have a statue outside of the stadium, and he wouldn't even have to win a Super Bowl to get it.
He'd be high-fiving Rocky right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I fucking love this kid, and it literally breaks my heart that A, he's a Giant, but B, that this happened to him. Like, well, it pains me.
We said this on Wednesday, I believe, or one of last week's shows. Is the most heartbreaking thing about the Giants emerging this season is that Malik Neighbors wasn't going to get to take a part of it, and now Cam
Skattebo's not. Like, can you be a more cursed franchise than losing both your top weapons within the span of like a month? Awful.
Rough.
Yeah.
Absolute rough. Well, you brought up the Eagles there for a second, so I did want to say this to you, because I don't know if you know this. Eagles are now 5-0 in those Kelly Greens since they brought them back in 2023.
So my wife has not seen a lot of the Kelly Greens and was put off by them. Did not enjoy them, and I said, "Hey, those are Randall Cunningham jerseys. We respect the hell out of those." So.
I like them. All right, let's get back over to the comments real quick. George says he's sitting at 3-5, looking for players past their bye week with a strong rest of season schedule. Worth trading Javonte and one of Terry or Ricky for Josh Jacobs.
So when I initially saw this question, I was going to say no. I'll be honest. Josh Jacobs' season has kind of flown under the radar for me, because I'm like, Javonte Williams can't stop scoring touchdowns. Guess what? Josh Jacobs can't stop scoring touchdowns. So I'm fine with this trade. If you think, to get over that hump, you want to skip this Dallas bye week coming up. Honestly, I'm fine with either one of those players. If you need to offer the trade today, I would probably wait to see what Terry McLaurin does tonight. But then again, without Jaden Daniels, what's Terry McLaurin going to do? So,
yeah, it's really interesting when you look at their seasons. Like Josh Jacobs is
Wild.
RB8, Javante's RB5. Jacobs has 9 touchdowns. Javante also has 9, 8 of them rushing. But the discrepancy in receiving work and yards per carry, like Jacobs is literally getting by on touchdowns. Javante is averaging 5.1 yards per carry. Jacobs at 3.6. Javante has 34 targets and 24 catches. Jacobs has less targets than Javante has receptions. Like, Javante is the guy that you want. I want to preface this. Javante is the guy that you want. But I understand, George, where you're coming from, sitting at 3 and 5. Like, you're trying to make sure that you've got players that are going to be viable. I don't know that Terry or Ricky are going to get that involved. Like, if Terry comes out and has a really good game this week, then I'm sure the Josh Jacobs manager is like, oh, I get a free wide receiver. Okay, cool. But I'm just going to be honest with you. I like having the better players. Javante is a better player right now.
Fair. Frizzle says, morning, fellas. Someone dropped Jamison Williams and Bam Knight. Should I drop Neal to pick up one of them? I also dropped Jamison Williams this past week.
Yeah, I alluded to last week's free agency show that if you can hold Bam Knight through the bye, he does get Dallas coming out of the bye, which has been a plus matchup for running backs. So if you need a running back in week 9, I would go after Bam Knight.
I think all 3 of them are terrible. So I'm not really rushing to get any of them.
Also not wrong. That's why I said if you need one in week 9.
Thanks. Says, do you think A.J. Brown is becoming the Stephon Diggs the Bills had, like demanding stuff and making a less fluid offense?
I'll let Josh take the answer to this. I'm going to say no. And first of all, A.J. Brown's been A.J. Brown. We saw this squeaky wheel shit last year too. It's a little bit uglier this year because it's a new offense and they're not throwing him the ball. I'm not concerned about A.J. Brown as a football player, fantasy manager. Very concerned.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, you get these enigmatic wide receivers and they're just fucking divas. Like, even when you look at how A.J. Brown reacted after winning the Super Bowl, like, for him, sure, it was a small milestone, but he's all about personal success. Like, and it bleeds through with everything that he does. Which, you know what? Great. He's a competitor. He wants to go out there and he wants to be the best. The way that this team is built, that mentality is not going to last past this season. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. Well, so in other words, yes, he is the new Diggs.
Yeah.
Ms. Lee says, Rashad White and Kincaid safe drops. Kittle, Gadsden are my other 2 tight ends. And even if Bucky comes back, White looks terrible. White doesn't look.
Wow, it's almost like I told everybody that Rashad White sucks.
White doesn't look terrible when you give him the ball 4 fucking times and he's got 1 inch to get in the fucking end zone and he can't do it. Oh, wait. Fast forward to the second half of the game and you do the exact same thing. It only takes 1 goddamn play for fucking Tucker to get in. Just
almost like I've been saying, Tucker's the guy that you want to start. Wow.
Okay, we can
fucking coaches. Jesus
no,
Christ.
Anything to add, Ryan?
I said no notes.
Fucking terrible.
That game was.
I guess we didn't officially answer your question. Yes, both of those guys are droppable in your current roster.
There you go. Good job, Ryan. Dallas bye week. Oh, this is go back to George's question.
Yeah, and I'll point this out. Denver was 7th toughest to running backs heading into last night. And Javante scored 2 touchdowns. It doesn't matter. Start good players, plain and simple.
Yeah, I mean, the other side of that, too, is you go look at Jacobs. He's got Carolina, which is nice, but then you got Philly, the Giants, Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago.
But look, Dallas has a top 3 offense in the NFL. They're going to run the football.
So it says, morning, guys. I have an issue with my running back. I have Scat Junkins. I also have Rico Suave.
So in a few seconds, Craig points out that this is Craig Lennox. What the hell changed?
I don't know what's going on with YouTube and this, like, they're showing the screen names now versus like they're it's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, not loving that at all. Yeah, that's a problem. I do
that's
think
a bad
Rico's.
problem, dude. I think Judkins will be fine. Rico, this is literally what we said would happen once Chuba Hubbard came back. Like Rico's in a split, and he's got to do something to take over that. But fucking Dave Canales, man,
just trash.
Yeah.
Absolute trash. George says, I know Chase Brown did well again, but there's a little too much Piron for his liking. Piron getting 9 carries and a target through the air. Chase Brown getting 11 carries and 3 targets.
I think honestly, this was one of those games where there was just so much offense you needed to rest players. So I think Piron, he was already starting to see a little bit more work. Piron, I think this game is a little bit of an outlier, not what you're going to see regularly.
I do want to give credit to Vince Mapstone comments in the Wednesday show talking about how P. Ryan would outscore Saquon. Look, I wouldn't have even been on the P. Ryan train. Let's be honest. The fact that P. Ryan scored, hats off, Vince, because I would not have called that. So kudos.
What's crazy in that game is both P. Ryan and Chase Brown scored a rushing touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But so did the old man Joe Flacco.
Yep.
Insane. All right, let's get over to the hangover, the disappointments of the week. I'll give you a list. You can pick from them or you can go out on your own. The list for the disappointments this week: Dak Prescott, Bijan Robinson, CMC, Rico Dowdle. I mean, you could basically put any Falcon or any Carolina Panther running back in this. Quinshon Judkins, Abuka, or Jake Ferguson. Josh, I'll let you lead it off.
So I went with CMC. And it's not because I think this is going to be like a long-term problem, but I just kind of want to float a scenario here because when you look at his usage, he's averaging 3.5 yards per carry, and he has only 3 rushing touchdowns. Now, mind you, he also has 3 receiving touchdowns. He's straight volume at this point. 196 touches through 8 games. That comes out to 24.5 per game. I still think the most surprising part of this, he is averaging over 9 targets per game.
Wild.
At the running back position. Okay. I get it. Kittle's missed, 5 games, 4 games? He got 0 points in week 7 on only 2 targets. Pearsall's missed the last 4 games. Brandon Ayuk is still on the PUP list. By all intents and purposes, we have no idea even when he's coming back.
Yeah.
Pearsall, potentially in the next week or 2, right? This is a guy, CMC, that dealt with Achilles tendonitis last year. And it caused him to play only 4 games. And we're trotting him out here for this kind of workload a year afterwards. This feels like the wheels are about to fall off so fast. But more importantly, what's his workload going to look like when all these receivers come back? Because 9 targets a game? That's crazy.
Yeah.
What if that drops to 6? He's not running the ball effectively. He's not scoring touchdowns. Do we still have a top 10 running back at that point?
I think it's a fair question. As someone who has CMC in a lot of leagues, it's the lack of touchdowns has been concerning. What you hope to see is more efficient usage and hopefully more touchdowns when they can actually use wide receivers like wide receivers. But this is something, Josh, I noticed a while ago, and it's going to be hilarious to say with Jonathan Taylor being a person who exists. It seems like teams are way more happy to run play action in goal line and inside the 5-yard line sets than they are to just run their running back. And the 49ers, I noticed that with them. They ran play action this week and gave Jake Tungus a touchdown when it could have easily been Christian McCaffrey. And for fantasy managers, that does mean if they're not getting volume and certainly passing volume, it's a concern. I guess the only issue I have with your premise is Christian McCaffrey's better than Ricky Pearsall. So why would they stop?
No. And again, I wholeheartedly none of these wide receivers that are coming back, sans maybe like Brandon Ayuk. But again, we don't know A, when he's coming back, and B, how healthy he's going to be.
Well, they even said the last Brandon Ayuk update I heard was it's a matter of when, or it's a matter of if, not when.
Yeah. So there's a chance that he completely misses this whole season. So that being said, they don't have a true alpha in this wide receiver room, which tells me that, you know what, they're just going to keep throwing him the football. But the way that they target CMC isn't much different than how they target George Kittle.
Very fair.
And now it becomes a very redundant offense. So to me, it's either going to be one or the other. So we saw Kittle didn't do shit in week 7. CMC did great. Kittle popped this week. CMC takes a step back. Are we going to get these sorts of yo-yo games where it's only one or the other and not both at the same time? Because if so, now you're dealing with a tight end and not a true 3-down running back.
With all due respect to Mac Jones as well, though, maybe Brock Purdy comes out and gets this offense on schedule.
But with as banged up as he's been, I mean, I don't even know that I trust that at this point.
No, it's fair.
Yeah, the other thing, Josh, you brought up the double-digit targets, but over the last 4 weeks, that target volume has gone
down every week.
Every week. He's still RB2 on the season, but he is 29 as well. And like you brought up, all of those injuries. Ryan, who's your guy?
Well, Jay, I guess pour one out for you, but I'm getting mildly concerned about Baker Mayfield. I don't know.
Mildly?
I don't know how many wide receivers you can lose and be fantasy relevant, but apparently the answer is not 3. Because we've seen 4, yeah. We've seen 2 different versions of Baker over these last 2 weeks, and neither has been good for fantasy football. We saw shootout Baker Mayfield last week, 50 pass attempts. Still only completes 56% of his passes because he doesn't have any of his wide receivers, only 1 touchdown. And Josh, I'm going to give you some credit about something here in just a moment as well. Then we see this week games in the bag Baker Mayfield, and it's not like they ran away with it, but it was still an easy win. Only throws the ball 24 times, terrible for any fantasy manager, and then doesn't score a touchdown. And Josh brought this up in the preseason. Baker ran the most of his life last year. What if that goes away? Baker Mayfield over the last 2 weeks has 0 rushing attempts. What happens when Baker Mayfield doesn't run the ball is Baker Mayfield's not a top 10, not a top 12, maybe not a top 15 fantasy quarterback. And I am concerned for Baker Mayfield managers moving forward this season.
Points per game, he's QB 13.
There you go.
Just pointing that out.
There is one thing to look at with this game. Of course, it was the Saints. The Bucs defense was dominant as all get out.
100%.
What Spencer or whatever the fucking quarterback's name is.
Well, Jay, I know you saw it. I don't know if the viewing audience saw the pick 6. That was just hilarious.
Blow the whistle on that. They said they blew the whistle on.
Well,
you're talking about yeah.
By the defensive end who pushed Spencer Rattler down as he was scoring the touchdown. And my favorite thing being an older brother, Spencer Rattler looked immediately at the refs like, you're just going to let him push me like that? You've got to go back and watch it. Spencer Rattler looks like a little bitch laying on the ground just looking for the refs to come bail him out.
The part of that I absolutely loved was Nelson coming around the end. So it's a rollout. Yeah. He's got his hand up in the air. Now I'll get it. Okay, Nelson's 6'6" or whatever the hell he is.
He's compared to Spencer Rattler, he looked like Shrek. I was like, Jesus Christ.
He's got a big ass hand, but Spencer Rattler literally throws the ball. Kate hit a fucking balloon that's fucking wide as like this. He hits this small ass hand dead center, one-handed catch. Nelson looks like a damn running back. But then
awesome.
There was multiple missed calls in that game. We should have had like 3 touchdowns on defense alone. But Baker Mayfield faced the highest blitz rate of the season at 48.1%, completing just 4 of 11 for 12 yards against the blitz yesterday. 18%, almost 90% completion over expected while taking 2 sacks as well.
Yeah. It's concerning. And I know Baker Mayfield won people championships last year, and before 2 weeks ago had a ton of people in the right position to do it again this year, you might be looking for trades right now.
We got to do something.
Yeah.
Mine. This is twofold. I kind of hit it on it earlier. Carolina's running back room, Atlanta's running back room. WTF, capital fucking letters. What in the hell are we doing? Rico Dowdle over there in Charlotte is absolutely crushing, while you have Fucknut just sitting there on the sideline. Now he's healthy, allegedly. We're going to give him the ball more than we give it to the guy that just went for fucking 400 yards over 2 games. He still outrushes him, but we're going to give the ball to him more often. Yeah. Dave Canales, whatever those things are.
It's loyalty to a fault.
Oh, then let's go down the street to fucking Atlanta. Oh, my God. Kirk Cousins is a starter. Well, we know we're going to have a big day, Bijan Robinson. No, fuck that. No. F you fantasy managers. We're going to give the ball to Tyler Algier. Let him score a touchdown. We're going to give the ball to, what's his name? Hang on 1 second. I have it in my notes. It is, oh my God, what is his name? Can't even fucking find it now. Raheem Morris, you're an idiot. You are an absolute fucking, Nathan Carter.
Oh,
remember that name. He's already had 9 touches on the year. He got 2 of them yesterday for 14 yards. Had just as many yards as fucking Tyler Algier. And yes, I am not an Atlanta fan. I am a Buccaneer fan, but that was straight garbage. No wonder Atlanta loses in unbelievable fashion to Carolina, comes back and beats the crap out of the Bills, and then goes to, we're going to bring Miami in. They don't want to win ball games. And you just let them walk you like you were on a leash. Tua Tagovailoa, QB1. What the Moving on. Let's go to the audience questions. Jesus Christ. Play dart over Caleb. Shout out Josh and Ryan. But is Williams now droppable?
Debating it myself. I have Drake May. I know he's not on bye till week 14. I'm dropping Caleb Williams this week.
I know Josh is going to talk about him in a little bit. So
I was going to say, yeah, he's definitely going to come up. I don't know, like weeks 3 and 4, he looked like he turned a corner and, was really starting to grasp Ben Johnson's offense. And
I say, is this a Ben Johnson problem? We saw some questionable play calling as well.
That is also 100% true. Somebody got a little too in his bag, but here's the thing with quarterbacks. If you have one, you don't need to.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
Very fair. Tyrone 6-2, thanks to Barkley and the rushing beast that is Joe Flacco.
I can give no credit to Joe Flacco or Myles Garrett this week because of the upset ass whooping I took in my home league, but I'm happy for you, Tyrone. As happy as I can be, as bitter as I am today.
Joe Flacco, the 7th player in NFL history, joining Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Doug Flutie, Warren Moon, Jerry Rice, and Vinny Testaverde to score a rushing touchdown over the age of 40.
Oh.
He is now the oldest player to do it with Cincinnati. Can you name the oldest player?
Brady?
With Cincinnati.
Oh, with Cincinnati. To score a rushing touchdown for Cincinnati?
Yes.
Did Testaverde play for them?
Testaverde played for Cleveland.
Yeah. No, I knew that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Corey Dillon. No, he didn't play there that old. He left.
The guy was 36. I'll give you that.
Bernie Kosar.
No, he was Cleveland as well.
Fuck.
Boomer Esiason.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Terrell Owens.
Oh shit! Completely forgot.
Yes. I didn't know if I'd give it. I figured one of you would have got that. So,
quarterbacks.
Is Bo Nix only good against bad defenses? Should I pick up Flacco for week 9 since Flacco has the Bears and Nix has the Texans?
It's a fair question. It really is. Flacco is red hot right now. I feel like because it's week 9 and you don't have to hold him for a long period of time to find out if Bo Nix is only bad or good against bad defenses, I think it's worth a 1-week experiment. I would make that ad.
I mean, Flacco's got the Bears. Who do the Broncos have? Broncos.
Didn't you just put it in that question?
Texans. Yeah. I mean, it's worth. I mean, sure. The way that the Texans are playing defense right now, I wouldn't even start a hot quarterback against them. So
yeah,
Flacco should be fine. I mean, I wouldn't drop Knicks, but
yeah, don't drop Knicks. I hope that's not what I came across to say.
I don't, dude. I'm almost like, yeah, pick up Flacco, fucking play him. I mean, he's hyper targeting Chase. I mean, yesterday was his second worst game since he's been in Cincinnati. He's scored on the average like 35 points fantasy. That's insane. Yeah, fuck that. Get Flacco on that team. So do you guys think Drake May over Baker Mayfield at this point? Yes,
100%.
Yeah.
Josh and I have actually been saying for 2 weeks that Drake May is a must start every week. And if he did not prove that against Cleveland this week, I don't know what he needs to do to prove it to you. It is Drake May over Baker Mayfield every day.
Yeah, I think he's the QB 5 in points per game, just behind Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
George, is Matthew Golden also droppable with Watson back? I didn't have Savion Williams scoring for Golden on the bingo card.
That's the Packers offense. We kind of said you want Tucker Kraft and you want Josh Jacobs, and so far we've been proven quite right. So
it's so
yeah. I mean, look, in redraft, Golden is droppable. Golden was borderline rosterable, truthfully. So, and now the wide receiver room just gets even more crowded. Let's be honest, that passing attack flows through Tucker Kraft right now. So,
yep.
Tyrone, I like Rattler for Olave. Do you think Tyler Shout or how's it showed?
Shuck
with no K or C.
Act like it's a CK at the end. Exactly.
This is Hooves guy, so I have kind of stay away.
That's the only reason I know how to pronounce it is because of Hoove. So.
Their stat lines were basically the same, Rattler and Shug.
Yeah, I don't see the offense changing.
Offense isn't going to change. Like, Shuck's just less efficient. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't think it hurts him any. So
I just went and looked at the stat line. I didn't realize it was that close. Jesus.
One thing I'll throw out, though, is Shuck might actually help Rashid Shaheed, because the one thing I did
Shuck's got a good deep arm.
I remember from watching Shuck's tape is he has a deep arm and he is willing to just shuck that.
Not very accurate with it, but
it's going to come down to Rashid Shaheed actually finding a way to catch this ball. So.
Yeah.
Quizzy says he dropped Spears for BTJ like we told him to do. Should he drop Pollard and go pick up Spears?
I don't think so. I mean, I know Spears had a nice week, but I'm not making that drop.
I think the issue is they're using Spears more in the passing game, and because this offense is struggling so much, they're coming from behind. That's lending itself to more Spears opportunities. I don't know that I would outright drop Pollard, but I mean, if you're desperate, sure.
I don't have the number in front of me. I'm seeing if I can find it in the blurb, but he had 53 yards. I'm pretty sure 40 of that came on one run, if I remember the highlight properly. I don't.
Yes, he had 59 yards, and he did have one rush that was over.
That
40.
was like a huge run, exactly. So I don't know. It was a nice week for Spears. I still think they'll lean Pollard overall.
I know I'm behind in the live, but I was booking on Tucker Kraft having a good season. I have him all of his money leagues, claiming him everywhere. Top 3 tight end finish.
There you go, baby.
Absolutely.
Somebody listened to me in the offseason.
Yeah, say Josh has been conducting that train.
Need a quarterback ahead of week 10 for Mahomes by who's the better pickup for week 10, Darnold or Goff?
Is Goff in Detroit?
No, in Washington.
Oh, I was to say this decision makes itself if Goff's in Detroit. I'm probably going to lean Goff just because that Washington defense can't stop anybody.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going to. Goff hasn't really had any of the big mental hiccup games yet, which kind of makes me think he's due.
He's due.
But also too, like, I don't know if we're getting Jaden Daniels. Darnold is in Seattle for this game, which makes it really interesting, in all honesty.
He was actually pretty good against them back in week 4, 242 yards, only 1 touchdown. But you turn this into a home game, could shake out a little bit better.
Yeah, my biggest issue with Darnold really is that he just has one guy to throw to, and that's Jason. At least Goff has multiple players here. The biggest worry with Goff is how much are they going to run, right? Because obviously if they're going to run 250 times, they're going to score 2 to 4 touchdowns on the ground, which isn't going to leave much for him in the passing game. Darnold, I just think that he probably has more touchdown upside. I think Darnold's probably the safer guy.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Very fair. All right, let's get back over to the show sheet. Let's talk about some good shit that happened. Shots of espresso quality performances that got the juices flowing. I'll list a couple of them and then let you guys do the same kind of thing and highlight them. Jordan Love, Joe Flacco, Tua Tagovailoa, Breece Hall, Chase Brown, RJ Harvey hitting the list. Derrick Henry, Woody Marks, Isaiah Davis, Rome Odunze, Jalen Waddle, Rasheen Shaheed, Xavier Hutchinson, Roman Wilson, Harold Fannin, Dallas Goedert, and oh my Lord, he's back on the list again. Kyle fucking Pitts.
Because they didn't have Drake London.
I don't know. Kyle Pitts has done amazing work in Atlanta this year, to be honest, if I can toot my own horn, because I was never left the train. Go ahead. Josh.
I was about to say who. So I was really tempted to start to talk about Breece Hall because he's gone now 7 games without scoring a touchdown. Ended up scoring 3, 2 rushing and a passing,
including a game winner. I'm a little
and
shocked.
The game winner,
I'm glad you brought him up because he needed a little bit of recognition.
But I want to highlight Jordan Love here. Sunday Night Football, he's going against his mentor. The team said we're going to move on from Rodgers after 18 years, and you know what? It's your train now. You lead this team. And the knock on Love has always been inconsistencies. Only plays well during Toyotathon. Blah, blah, blah. All this crap. 360 yards, 3 touchdowns on Sunday night. He's the QB1 on the week. Mind you, the top 2 quarterbacks of the week, Jordan Love and Bo Nix, I had on one team. And I somehow started the wrong one. Just throwing that out there. Oh. But yeah, I mean, the way that Micah Parsons has helped transform this defense, even though their defense can still be very hit or miss, he offers that threat. And that's what gives that defense respectability. Jordan Love this season is morphing into that for the offense because they don't have that consistent dominant playmaker on offense. He has to be that. Josh Jacobs is good. The way that they're using him, though, he scores touchdowns. That's it. They don't have a true wide receiver 1. They have a bunch of betas, if I'm being honest. They have a bunch of wide receiver 2s that are creating a collective. And then they have Tucker Kraft. He is their wide receiver 1. But the guy that is the point guard, that's Jordan Love. And he is fucking doing it this season. And I want to bring this up just because I've seen it mentioned a couple times, and I just think it's absolutely hilarious because I love these types of conspiracy theories. Brett Favre won his first Super Bowl for the Packers. He was 27 years old. Aaron Rodgers won his first Super Bowl for the Packers. He was 27 years old. Jordan Love will be 27 by the time the Super Bowl is played this season.
Oh, my God.
Just throwing that out there. And they have the, quote, best record in the NFC.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up the stat that they brought up last night. Along with all that, they were 5-1 now, right? 5-1.
5-1-1.
Okay, so the first 4 games, they scored 27 points in those as well.
Yeah, I thought about that one. That wasn't as fun though.
No, but just keep rolling with your conspiracy.
Keep the 27 everywhere.
Ryan, who you got?
I guess it's cherry picking to take the wide receiver 1 on the week, but Troy Franklin now has a special place in my heart because fuck you, Joe Zolo. I went out on a limb this week and said that Courtland Sutton would be mediocre at best. I think I said he'd fall outside of the top 15, if I remember correctly, in fantasy football.
Not top 15, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Josh. And so I said he wouldn't be top 15. And I gave all these reasons about how the Dallas defense over the last 3 weeks has improved against wide receivers. Well, turns out Maybe they didn't, but they certainly improved against Courtland Sutton, who saved his day with a long catch towards the end of the game. But 4 catches for 67 yards. I'm not going to just sit here and shit on Courtland Sutton for being mad mediocre this week. Shout out to Troy Franklin, who has put together a hell of a stretch. As mentioned, he's the wide receiver 1 this week. But over the last, honestly, I was going to say last 3 games, 22 targets over the last 3 games, but he's not finished a game with fewer than 4 targets this season. He is the wide receiver 2 on this team, and he's starting to find the end zone now. The first couple weeks of the season, he had 1 touchdown up between week 1 and week 6. He now has 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games, and it seems that, at least against bad defenses, Bo Nix is finding Troy Franklin, and it's working out very, very well. 14 yards per catch this week, 11 yards per target. He is getting downfield. He's kind of doing, Josh, what we thought Marvin Mims was going to do for this offense.
Troy Franklin has 54 targets on the season. Courtland Sutton has 56.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
that's wide receiver 1B, folks.
Yeah. I mean, there's a big discrepancy in yards per reception. Franklin's at 10.8. Sutton's their deep guy at 14.5. Franklin has scored 1 more touchdown, though.
Yeah.
And my boy Marvin Mims down here at 32 targets, man. Rode that wrong horse.
Yep.
That's terrible.
Well, my guy is Drake May. Just carry over from Saturday when I brought him up as my favorite matchup. 18 to 24, 282, 3 touchdowns. He did throw an interception and fumble, but he didn't lose the fumble, but he also threw 50 more yards up on the board, rushing 5 top 10 fantasy finishes, 2 in the top 5, over 2,000 yards already on the season, 15 touchdowns, 250 on the ground. He did take 6 sacks yesterday. 5 of those credited to one person. So maybe he's not Myles Garrett proof, but
yeah. And that was kind of the bow I was going to put on this. Is it's not too often you can get sacked by the same guy 5 times and still come out of the game the hero.
Right. 11.5 yards is his target depth. That's insane. 11,
especially with this group of wide receivers.
Right. On the season, he's got the best completion rate. He's second best in EPA per dropback, second best passer rating, third best yards per attempt, second player that has put his second year player that's put his team on his back. 21.6 fantasy points per game. He averages 253, almost 2 touchdowns, under a half an interception, and over 31 yards on the ground. Multiple touchdown passes in 6 of 7 games.
And that's another quarterback without a true alpha at wide receiver. Like Diggs, we know what his history is, but he hasn't really been that dog this season.
Just scored his first touchdown.
Yeah, literally 8 weeks to score a fucking touchdown. Like that's not an alpha.
On a 100% designed get Stephon Diggs into the end zone play. It was not like he did a lot of work. He ran the underneath of a crossing route into the end zone. So.
Yeah. But I saw this interesting stat from the broadcast. Myles Garrett is the first person with 5 or more sacks in a game where the game was not decided by at least 3 points.
Damn.
Yeah. Like all that dominance.
And then you wonder why he looked like he wanted to kill himself or somebody else. Sorry to say that on the sideline. He did not look happy, plain and simple.
Don't blame him.
But he got paid though, right?
Let's just end with that. Because I have been very critical of the way Myles Garrett handled this. This man wrote a goodbye note to the city of Cleveland and thanked them and said, it's time for me to go chase a Super Bowl. And then they backed that fucking truck up and he said, I love you, Cleveland. I'm back, baby. Like, fuck.
But all I want to do is win. Well, maybe you shouldn't have stayed in Cleveland. Like,
let me hold on. We're just going to throw Zach up right now. He cannot. Yeah. He made his bed and he will fucking lie in. I do not feel bad for Myles Garrett. I just want to throw that out there.
Not gonna feel bad for him. Third ice is which RB to target next week. I know you guys will bring this up if you guys want.
If you bring up he actually gave a list on the next one.
His top targets are Tracy, Bigsby, Harvey, Marks, and Spears. Any of these guys should be his.
To me, it's Tracy and Marks, and it's not particularly close. A lot of people are in on Bigsby. I don't like signing running backs that I have to hold through a bye week to find out if they're even going to be viable. Like, you just get a little strange there. To me, it's Tracy and Marks. Marks continuing to look good week after week.
I was going to say, for me, it's Marks and Harvey. We had a question in our Discord about running backs to stash, and Harvey was at the top of that list for me. Like, the breakout.
I love RJ Harvey.
Yeah, the breakout is coming. Guess what? We just saw it.
Yeah.
Like, and again, I understand it's against a bad defense. Denver's going to see some quality opponents going, as the season progresses. But for Harvey to do what he did, on top of Dobbins rushing for over 100 yards in this game, guess what? This is what Sean Payton wanted. Dobbins playing that Ingram role, Harvey playing the pseudo Alvin Kamara role.
Yeah.
Harvey's finally seeing the groove here. Honestly, I think Harvey might be the guy that you want to grab from this group. He's more electric in a better offense than Marks is. Marks is seeing the opportunity, which is great, but he's not seeing it to the level that Harvey is, in my opinion.
Josh, let me ask you this. And I only want to bring this up because we just had this same conversation about Tajay Spears. When you look at what Harvey did yesterday, 7 carries, 46 yards, but he did have that one that was over 40 yards. It's not like he...
Yeah, 6 carries for 6 yards, basically.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think Harvey is something...
This is not just a one-game thing, though.
And
this has happened before.
And that's what I was going to throw out there is, when you look at this group that he gave, the most likely to score a touchdown is RJ Harvey, and it's not close.
Yeah.
Like, if you take the other 5 guys and add them together, RJ Harvey is still more likely to score a touchdown.
And that's the point. Like, you want guys in good offenses, plain and simple. Houston, not a good offense. Tennessee, dog shit offense. Bigsby, probably not even going to see any run because Barkley's going to be fine in week 10. Tyrone Tracy, nope. Sorry. Like, give me the guy that's in a good offense.
Nope.
Bigsby a good pickup. Kind of just hit on this.
Yeah.
If you're the Barkley manager, you need to get Bigsby, plain and simple. If you're not the Barkley manager, I'm not rushing out to get him.
Flacco has been too good to send back to the waivers. JD5 and Nico are in my IR spots, so I have to drop someone to release him.
Well, you're not dropping Daniels or Nico, so find somebody else.
Yeah, Tyrone. Definitely not dropping those two.
Yeah. Pick up Bigsby since Barkley. Yeah.
If you have Barkley, yes.
Yeah,
make that pickup.
Here's in a PPR, how to prioritize these wide receiver ads. Butte, Franklin, Shakir, Watson, or Tez.
To me, take Butte, put him after Shakir, and you have them in the right order. So Franklin, Shakir, Butte, Watson, Tez.
I would put Watson at the end. I'm not playing Russian roulette with shoddy Packers wide receivers.
That's fair.
Very fair. Was this Breece Hall's breakout game?
God, I hope so. I have hitched my fantasy wagon to Breece Hall. I have him in so many redraft teams. And my record is pretty much in line with how he's performed through 7 weeks.
I was waiting for you to say my record's pretty much in line with the Jets.
No, not that bad. But fine, like one of my teams this week, 217 points, pretty standard PPR, like top scorer so far in the season. Breece Hall was at the center of it, so I'll take it.
Only thing I'm going to caution is the Bengals fucking suck on defense, so I just don't know.
Truly is the other side of it, but
yeah.
But again, sometimes that's what you need. You need, hey, I gotta see that bad defense to get that confidence back, so that way when I face the good ones, I know that I can still do it because I am that good.
And the one thing I'll add is I got to see a lot of those highlights. Breece Hall was running angry, and that is what you want to see.
Well, and then when you look at Aaron Glenn in the post game, and he's talking about grit, 500 yards, like this is what we envisioned. Like, build on that. Hopefully. Like, they want to run the football, so fucking run the football. Impose your will. You have a running back who can do it. You have a quarterback that truly is a second running back. Fucking do it.
A quick question, and maybe this is, tongue-in-cheek kind of a question, but at the very end there where he did throw that pass, there was the speculation that Tyrod Taylor was going to be the starting quarterback, and then, of course, he's injured, so now it's Justin Fields. Was that Breece going, hey, I can play both of these positions?
That's Breece saying, look, we don't need this kid, Justin Fields. We got 20, baby. Let's put him in.
That's Breece saying, I'm the best player on this fucking team. That was a fuck you to everybody.
Not Dallas. Is it worth to trade Olave and London for Jamar?
Yes.
Yeah. Would have Gibbs, Genty, Puka, Jamar, Kittle, Sutton,
Jesus Christ. Yes,
which
make
still
that
has
trade.
Beasley on the bench as wide receiver, Woody and Bill as wide receiver. Oh my, as running back.
That's the best flex of this show so far.
Jesus God Almighty, make that trade. It's fucking more studs.
Please make that trade and
Studs.
come back and let us know how you finish because wild roster.
Can we please get Pearsall back this year? He should be back, maybe. Do we still think Brees gets traded this year? If so, what teams are targeting him?
They're not going to move him.
I don't think they're going to move him. I think I think Josh had brought up Aaron Glenn's speech after the game. Aaron Glenn is playing for a lot more than future success, and I don't think Aaron Glenn's going to be okay with moving Brees unless they get something crazy back, which they won't. So, like, why move him for a fourth, which is probably the best you're going to do.
And that's basically the thing is, like, you're trading for a guy that needs a new contract, right?
Yeah.
That's not going to net you a second or third round pick. That's going to net you fourth, maybe a fifth, honestly. And teams will happily throw that. But if you're the Jets, why would you accept that? That's your best offensive player outside of Garrett Wilson.
Yep.
Zach saying he's glad he's not the only one stuck.
Right there with you, Zach.
One more, and then we'll move back over to our panic. Would you trade Travis Hunter and Goddard for Tucker Kraft in a heartbeat?
Yep.
Yeah.
Goddard's 2 touchdown dependent. He's not seeing volume of any kind. Tucker Kraft is doing it all.
Yep. That's why
he is right now the tight end 1 in points per game. Tucker Kraft.
I love it. All right, let's get over to panic. Chill the fuck out. The dud that was merely a blip on the schedule. Here's how we're gonna do this. I'll give you the player, give you a little bit of stats about him, and we'll let you guys fight it out on whether you're panicking or you're telling me to chill the fuck out. Let's start off at quarterback. Caleb Williams, QB 12 overall, QB 15 in points per game, 11.8 in week 8. QB 17. Three of his last 4 fewer than 12 fantasy points, and only 2 TD passes over that span. I'll start with you, Ryan, since we've been go all night.
Full-blown panic on Caleb Williams. I did this last week. I was done with him last week. I have been defending Caleb Williams for a very long time. I am done. Joe Zolo was so proud of me that I'm moving on so quickly. I can't give up on Bryce Young. I am giving up on Caleb Williams. I like this kid a lot. I hope he goes on to be great. I'm not going to defend him anymore. I don't know if it's the Ben Johnson offense. He's just far too inconsistent. I don't like seeing that many games under 60% completion percentage. He doesn't seem to find the end zone. He runs enough, but he again, doesn't really find the end zone a ton that way. He's just not scoring enough touchdowns for me to be a person I can ever reliably start as my QB1. If I'm in a super flex, obviously I flex with Caleb Williams, but
he's a backyard quarterback.
100%.
That's what he is. He doesn't know how to operate within a
He's
system.
Great value brand Patrick Mahomes, which is kind of what we thought he was coming out.
I was going to say, like, he's of that, like, Brett Favre, Patrick Mahomes kind of mold.
Just not
what you like is that he doesn't really turn the football over the way that Brett Favre does, right? But again, if you're not scoring touchdowns, you have no value to me. Plain and simple.
Yeah, when Joe Flacco's dropping 4 fucking tutties, I can't be fucking around with Caleb Williams.
That is 100% facts. Yes, full-blown panic on Caleb Williams. So, George, to answer your question from earlier, yes, you can drop Caleb Williams.
100%.
All right, at running back, we got Tyrone Tracy, RB 45 points per game. Failed to exceed 10 rushing attempts like Josh brought up earlier. 12 touches in a game. Only 1 game this season with 10-plus fantasy points. Expected to see expanded role with Skattebo, but we shall see. Josh?
I brought this up specifically because I know that with the Skattebo injury, people are going to rush to the waiver wire to grab Tyrone Tracy. They're going to blow a bunch of fab, like Ryan said earlier today.
Yeah.
This is an absolute trap, plain and simple. It is a trap. Absolute trap.
Josh is not wrong. all I'm gonna say is this.
I get it. Running backs are they're gold. But more often than not, they're fool's gold. I'm just saying.
All I'm gonna say is this. In the nature of the question of panic or chill the fuck out. The manager who wasted draft capital on Tyrone Tracy has already cut him. You are the new manager. And I would tell you, new manager, chill the fuck out. I think he's going to be okay for the rest of the season. The first guy panicked, and rightfully so. I think he's going to be okay. I don't think he's Cam Skattebo. Let me be very clear. This is a flex play who you can slam into your RB2 in the upcoming bye weeks. So
I'm going to put this in comparisons for you because we've seen starting running backs go down. You know, we saw James Conner go down. We blew fab on Trey Benson.
Blew up in my
Obviously, he got hurt. So that
only one has worked. I'm just going to interrupt you right now. Kamani Vidal is the only one.
And that's my point. So, like, are you getting Kamani Vidal?
Are you
getting? I don't even. I feel like it's disrespectful to say Trey Benson, but he sucked in his first game.
Yeah.
But we blew a bunch of fab on Woody Marks, and then he dropped a fucking turd on us. Yep, and now he's finally starting to come back into his own because they figured out what his role is.
But guess what? He's already on to the next manager as well. So.
There you go. Exactly. So, like, which Tyrone or which version are you getting with Tyrone Tracy? You're not getting Kamani Vidal is the point that I'm getting at.
You're not wrong.
No.
I'm still blowing a ton of fab on Tyrone Tracy.
I'm surprised you even have any fab left because you probably blew it all on Trey Benson.
Wait, what he has left, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, let's move over to the wide receiver position. Ryan, we'll start with you, but it's Courtland Sutton, wide receiver, 23 in points per game, has 10 plus in 3 of the last 4, including 2 10-target games, yet to have scored a touchdown over his last 4 games. His teammate Troy Franklin, stud, just finished as the wide receiver 1 on the week. Panic, chill the fuck out.
I'm probably going to panic only in the sense that he's the wide receiver 12, and I think Troy Franklin's going to fuck that up. I'm trying to bring up my rest of season projections. Denver's a team I managed to get updated this morning. I woke up kind of early. And right now, Courtland Sutton in my rest of season rankings based on pace and the fact that he can't score a touchdown is my wide receiver 22 rest of season. Now, I'm only about halfway through my week 8 update. But I don't know that it's like an enormous panic. I'm still starting Courtland Sutton. I'm still expecting wide receiver 2 production out of him. But you went into this week thinking he's the wide receiver 12. I don't think he's that anymore, Josh.
Yeah, I think where he's at in points per game, wide receiver 2020, that's what he is. He is a boomer bust wide receiver 2, plain and simple. This is Sean Payton. This is what he does. He spreads the football around. It's a different flavor of the week. Sutton's going to be the most consistent of the inconsistent bunch, but you're never going to feel good starting him, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I mean, if you have Jamar Chase and Sutton's your 2, you've been riding high for the last couple weeks. Just get ready to come back.
Yeah, and that's, to me, like, that's what he is. But, like, if you lost Malik Neighbors to injury, right, and you feel like you need to rely on Courtland Sutton, you can't.
Not going to happen.
You know, if you drafted Drake London to be your 1, you can't rely on Sutton to be your 2.
I mean, just think about, like, this is not how you should play fantasy football, but, like, someone got Troy Franklin for free, and they're getting the same production.
Yeah, they're winning. You're not.
Exactly.
All right, let's move over to the tight end position. Josh, we'll start with you, but it's called Dalton Kincaid, tight end 7 in points per game, averaging less than 5 targets per game, and hasn't had more than 6 targets in a game this season. Scored 3 touchdowns on the season, and week 8 was his first game since week 5.
Yeah, I just wanted to, for as nice of a guy as Josh Allen is, fuck Josh Allen, because this motherfucker decides to take 2 rushing touchdowns in the red zone when it's National Tight End Day, and you could have thrown to Dalton Kincaid. I'm just saying. Bitter that he blew up my parlay, but still, fuck you, Josh Allen. Anyway, that's off the table. Okay, 5 targets per game. The start of the season, Dalton Kincaid was looking like the guy in this passing attack.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because they didn't need to throw the football this week because James Cook said, wow, I can run on Carolina. That run defense is a fallacy. Okay, cool. So this is like them reverting back to the Carolina defense from the last like 3 years where they couldn't stop a nosebleed and gave up 6 yards per carry.
Yeah.
I'm panicking a little bit because, again, at the beginning of the season before the injury, he was looking like he was going to be the big target guy here. But you're looking at another offense now that it's a flavor of the week. You don't know who's going to be the guy. And maybe that's okay at the tight end position because we're just so accustomed to it. But I'm not feeling this. I'm not. Like, I mean, I guess if you're looking at it in the context of very few people drafted him to be a top 6 guy, sure, chill the fuck out. But at tight end 7 points per game, what he did at the start of the season, you finally got him back. And then he comes 1 for 23.
Yeah.
When tight ends are supposed to pop this weekend because, you got a national holiday out of it.
And you got Carolina.
Which was a screaming good matchup. Oh, my God. Like, I was all over Dalton Kincaid this week.
Yeah.
If you can't do it in a good matchup, where's the hope?
I wonder if you should say, fuck you, Josh Allen, or if you should actually be saying, fuck you, James Cook, for just stealing the show.
No, because James Cook was doing it 60 yards away from the end zone.
Yeah. Josh Allen.
Tight ends pop in the red zone.
Yeah. Why can't they call play action and throw touchdowns to tight ends?
Yeah. Seriously.
No, Josh kind of hit all the points I would hit. Is I don't panic on tight ends because I tell you guys to stream them anyway. But in the framing of Josh's question, what you thought you had after 5 weeks is not what you have out of Dalton Kincaid. The good news is this was the first time you had him in 3 weeks, so you've already been planning accordingly. Whoever you were streaming before, hopefully you grabbed Rondé Gadsden.
You started him because you were happy you got him back.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy.
Right? Oh no! I'm not hating on your point, Josh. I'm saying you've now you've lived life without Dalton Kincaid, so now you're ready to move on without him. So.
Oh, what a therapy session that was.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what this show's all about.
Sage advice helping you break up with your tight ends.
Oh, Zach. He says, I've said Williams would be an ass since college. Him and Cam Ward are the same. They got way over reason, and that translates to high draft picks.
If you didn't throw Cam Ward into this question, Zach, you might have got some co-signing from certainly me, maybe Josh, but you definitely, once you threw Cam Ward in, you lost Josh.
Yeah. Cam Ward right now is not the problem in Tennessee. I'm going to tell you that right now. Cam Ward, this was not a great quarterback class heading into this season. Cam Ward was the best of an average bunch, right? They are not the same in terms of talent level. What Cam Ward has, he has it up here. Caleb Williams does not, plain and simple. Okay. If it works for Cam Ward in Tennessee, it's going to be because of that mentality. But at the end of the day, a quarterback is only as good as the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Plain and simple. Because nobody thought that Patrick Mahomes was going to be a future GOAT when he was drafted. But he lands with Andy Reid.
Yeah.
And then Andy Reid said, I'm going to take this talent that I know that you have, and we're going to make this work. Not every quarterback has an Andy Reid. Not every quarterback has a quality offensive coordinator and head coach that are going to build the ecosystem for you to be successful. Chicago brought that in with Ben Johnson. And I understand it's only been 8 games. Chicago hasn't had their bye yet, right? Like, there's going to be problems that will fix itself. And I get that. And Zach, I'll go ahead and throw that comment up. You know what? You're probably not wrong because Tennessee is a shitty franchise. They will probably get their next head coach wrong. They probably will.
So for the Cam Ward lovers, probably much like the Baker Mayfield lovers, probably much like the
I was going to say,
just wait 3 teams.
And this is really what it boils down to. If you're telling me that, one talent over the other, it all boils down to mentality. If these guys don't end up working in their first stop, which one has the best chance to be the Baker Mayfield, the Sam Darnold, the Daniel Jones, where they actually succeed later?
It's not Caleb Williams.
It's not Caleb Williams. It's Cam Ward.
Let's be clear. There's another quarterback that the perfect it's Jameis Winston is what Caleb Williams is going to be if he's traveling.
And I wouldn't even go that far because he's not the personality that Jameis is.
Well, nobody is.
Yeah.
Wendy says, really wanted Caleb to be the guy in Chicago. Well, you also wanted Justin Fields to be the guy. This is the same.
I will go back, and I understand Justin Fields is ass. I will go back and be like, I still think Chicago mismanaged that situation. They could have done other things with those picks.
But that's what happens. Like when you spend that high draft capital on a quarterback, but then make the change afterwards. No. If let the coach that you bring in make the decision on the next quarterback. Because if you're hiring them to be your leader, you let them decide, hey, that's going to be my guy. You don't say, all right, we're going to spend this high draft pick, and this is where you have to make it work. No, it does not work that way. Every single franchise has proven this. So you're not the outlier. You're not too big for your britches. Plain and simple.
Who was it? Was it Parcells? Let him go buy the groceries too?
Yeah, exactly.
Millie Mills, good morning. Good morning. Damn, fellas, he's late, but Kraft was not. First 30-point tight end. Got him early this year when his teammate dropped him for Andrews.
And we told people after that Andrews blow up to not fall for this fucking trap, and then let alone to drop Tucker Kraft for him.
Yeah, that's wild. Oh my Lord. All right, let's get over to Monday Night Football. Oh man, what a game we got tonight. Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Commanders over there on ESPN Bet. The spread is 10.5, over under of 48.5. I'll give you my one pick out of my parlay. Make sure you run over to Underdog, sign up with the code WALF, claim your free pick, and the first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. As this game goes, we know Daniels is going to be out. That makes this game very unexciting, as it could have been. My concern with the over, what the fuck are you going to get out of Washington? I do expect the Chiefs to go up early, multiple scores. Overall on the year, 13-15, 2-2 last week for myself, hanging in right there at that 500 mark, which absolutely sucks. It's where I should be, but it absolutely sucks. My pick that I'll give y'all right now is Isaiah Pacheco, higher than 50.5 rushing yards. I know Josh does not like this pick. However, like I said, I do believe that the Chiefs will go up early and it'll become a running game. They may not see a bunch of Pacheco in the first quarter, but he's had at least 12 carries and 50 yards in each of the past 2 games. 4 weeks in a row, he's gone higher than his prop line. 5 straight weeks, running backs have hit higher on their prop line versus the Washington, I almost said Redskins, almost said it, Washington Commanders. And, you know, Josh, and you're not going to like this either, but he's quietly been efficient with his touches, averaging 4.5 yards per carry for more than half the games this year. Chiefs are favored by 10+. So it should lead to a favorable script for Pacheco to get over 50. And I'll watch him get like 3. But that's it'll be Brissards.
It'll be a hard fought 3 yards.
You will hear his footsteps for days. Ryan, you got a prop for tonight?
Yeah, I went to the other side of the ball so you guys could put everything together, though Jay gives you a bunch of picks in the Discord. Make sure you guys jump in to check that out. I'm going to go with Zach Ertz, higher than 32.5 receiving yards. I don't even mind the reception total on Zach Ertz. I think it's only 3 catches he needs to get. Kansas City, if you look at the matchup, they've been tough against the tight end. They have played absolutely no one when it comes to tight ends this season. And the 2 good tight ends they've played, I don't have the data in front of me right now, but it was Mark Andrews and somebody else, Sam Laporta, actually had pretty good games against them. And 32.5 feels low for Ertz. He's hit this in each of the last 2 games. It's been Mariota for one of those 2 games. I'm not overly concerned about Mariota. I think it actually works out well that it's Mariota because Mariota's just going to take what's given to him underneath, and that's going to be Zach Ertz seemingly pretty often. I like Ertz this week for at least 33 yards.
Yeah, I like both of those lines as well. If it's at 4.5, I'm not touching that reception line.
I thought it was 2.5. It might be 3.5. So either way, then it's probably not worth it. So
right on. All right, Josh, you got one?
Yeah, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes higher than 22.5 rushing yards. He's hit this mark in 3 straight games. Only twice in 7 games has he failed to reach this mark. I had in my notes that he's currently the Chiefs' leading rusher. Pacheco's pop last week actually took him above that. But let's be honest here. Pacheco has 21 more rushing yards than Patrick Mahomes.
Fair.
That's a problem, plain and simple. That's a problem. Mahomes is this rushing offense and has been for the bulk of this season.
100% agree with that. I will tell everybody, like I said, I believe this game goes, the Chiefs go up early in this game quickly. So keep an eye, if you do like live betting, keep an eye on those lines. Those lines for like Pacheco over, even the a couple other players they're over under those lines. Those lines may drastically change compared to what they are currently right now. And if you want to see the rest of mine, like Brian said, jump over into the Discord. Josh just dropped that in the chat there, so make sure you're doing that. Make sure you like, subscribe to us here on YouTube, on Apple, Spotify. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button over there as well. Josh, did you see anything else in the chat that we need to hit on? I know Zach's sitting there saying, telling this guy to F off. Thank you for that, Zach.
So I initially, and Zach just cleared it up for us. I initially just saw fuck off, and I'm like, oh man, did we say something? And then I saw what was right before him. So.
No, I will add this real quick note though. The both of the lines that Ryan and Josh have put up, I did put this in as well. So if you want if you want the Monday's Hangxiety 3-leg prop, that is Isaiah Pacheco higher than 50.5 rushing, Zach Ertz higher than 32.5 receiving, and Patrick Mahomes higher than 22.5 rushing. Guys, what a show. Awesome. I'd like to say what Zach said there, just F off, but we're not going to do that. Make sure there are 4 teams on bye in week 9: the Cleveland Browns, the New York Jets, Philadelphia Eagles, and my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Make sure there's going to be some hidden gems on the waiver wire this week, so pay attention to who your league mates have dropped over the last week with the bye week and everything with the Spy Mageddon that just happened. And of course, make sure you take advantage of Ryan and Josh tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. wiretap to get you all set up for week 9. Guys, great show. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We will see y'all next week.